UFC Fight Night Vera versus Cruz. Full card prediction. We got Marloncito Vera, who somehow has more experience than Dominic Cruz in his professional MMA career. I don't know how, don't ask me, but Cruz has definitely fought the better opponents and is arguably the greatest bantamweight fighter of all time. We got up-and-coming star, prospect, whatever you want to call it, David Onama taking on veteran Nate Landwehr, who is a dog. That's all I'm going to say. We got Bruno Silva, who just lost to the future title challenger, Alex Pereira. By decision, was able to survive. This man has a damn chin and is fighting GM3, third round submission, Gerald Meerschaert. We got Devin Clark, Azamat Murzakanov, who knocked out middleweight prospects, Andre Muniz a few years ago. We got not the best fight, Cynthia, Calvillo, Nina Nunes. I don't like it. I'm sure you guys don't as well. We got young 23-year-old Yazmin Jauregui versus Iasmin Lucindo, who is about 20 years old, the youngest women's MMA fighter in the UFC. That's two fighters making their debut right there. We got Martin Buday, future top 15 versus Łukasz Brzeski. Could be a future top 15. That's a good one. Charlie Ontiveros, Gabriel Benitez. Should be fireworks. Tyson name, Osbourne. Two powerful flyweights. Lupita, Godinez, good wrestler. Versus Angela Hill, good striker. Blackshear making his debut on short notice. Taking on Youssef Zalal. We got Quinlan, Jason Witt. Supposed to be about 2 days ago. But, you know, Josh, he tested positive for some Turinabol. Or something. I don't know exactly what it was. But it was some sort of steroid. Moved it over to this card. I don't know why. They don't just cut him from the UFC or something, give him to BKFC, but the man just keeps on popping for drugs. And then we got Ariane, Lipski, Priscila. Ariane did not make weight on the last card. She had COVID and just was not able to make the weight. She was not cleared to compete against Priscila Cachoeira, so this fight will be 10 pounds up in the bantamweight division, and we do have a lot of other fights that have been moved around. Viviani versus Alexa Grasso moved to a different card. Alan Nascimento, Malcolm Gordon is now Malcolm Gordon versus Mohamed Mokayev at UFC 280. We got Youssef Zalal, Christian Quinones is now Youssef Zalal, Blackshear, and then of course Yazmin Jauregui versus Estela Nunes is now Yazmin Jauregui versus Iasmin Lucindo. So it's a solid card. I'm just kidding. It's not the best card. I mean, name-wise, name value-wise, not the best, but I can see some good fights on the card, especially Benitez versus Ontiveros, Murzakanov versus Devin Clark, Bruno Silva, Gerald Meerschaert should be good unless we see Gerald just wrestle. Onama, Landwehr, good. Marlon, Dominic Cruz is good. It's a good card in terms of the fights are going to be pretty good, but name value is not really there, but can't wait for the card. But last thing is last, check the description for all of my bets on this card as well as PFL and Bellator. And with all that being said, let's get on the first one, a fight I've already predicted, but let's do it again in the UFC's bantamweight division. Ariane, Lipski, Priscila Cachoeira 2. I'm just kidding. They have not fought before because it was canceled on last week's card due to COVID and Ariane Lipski missing weight by about 1.5 pounds, maybe just a pound. But she was not medically cleared to fight. And they moved the fight 10 pounds up to the bantamweight division a week later, and this should be no problem for them to make weight this time. Ariane is lengthier but not as tall as Priscila Cachoeira. She's a better grappler but does not have nearly the striking credentials of Priscila Cachoeira. Priscila hits harder, she throws more volume, but Ariane Lipski does have that factor where if she gets you to the ground one time in any of her fights, she's definitely live to submission. She's got a lot of rear naked choke submission wins, arm bars on the regional scene over here, then got a knee bar submission win, which was mainly just Luana Carolina making a mistake there, and she got caught in the knee bar, but she is a pretty good grappler, good wrestling and good grappling. And, you know, her striking didn't look the best, but it didn't look the worst against Mandy Bohm. The main reason she's been losing a lot of her fights had been to kind of her cardio a little bit and then to fighting other girls that have either equal to or just slightly near that of wrestling and grappling to Ariane Carnelossi. And they were able to defend the submissions, get to the ground, out-wrestle her, out-grapple her, and then just ground up on TKO her. that's the way you're going to beat a girl like Ariane Lipski, is to have even or close to that pedigree of wrestling and grappling to be able to withstand all the submission attempts and things like that, and then just out-wrestle, ground and pound, like Antonina and Montana De La Rosa did, like Molly McCann did, like Joanne Calderwood did. But I don't see Priscila being that girl. I mean, I'm thinking about all the opponents of Ariane Lipski. I can see Priscila maybe going out there, finding a way to defend some takedowns and just charging Ariane Lipski and knocking her out. It's possible. It's very, very possible. We've seen Priscila get some upsets in the past. Against Gina Mazzani, she came back. And if Ariane Lipski goes out there and she gasses out into those later rounds, round 2 and round 3, I'm live betting Priscila. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Because Priscila is one of those girls. She's a zombie girl. She's good in the later rounds. She's good at putting on the pressure. She's good at just throwing and throwing and throwing. So if Ariane is not able to get the submission in round number 1, round number 2, live bet Priscila. Because she's going to come back and she's going to do very mean things to Ariane Lipski, but the prediction is going to be Ariane Lipski. I think she should be able to go out there, out-wrestle Priscila, as Priscila's main weakness is going to be on the ground, like she did against Jillian Robertson. Easily got taken down, easily got submitted. Ariane, not as good of a grappler or a wrestler, but her striking really isn't that bad to where Priscila's going to dominate her on the feet. So I think Priscila will strike a little bit with Ariane. Ariane will land the takedown. She'll stay on top a little bit, out-wrestle her, out-grapple her round 1, round 2. Then Ariane's going to get a little bit tired there. Priscila's going to start coming back. She's going to do really, really good, and it's going to be a good third round for Priscila. But I'm going to go 29-28. Ariane Lipski. The fight is in the bantamweight division. Again, that is another factor you have to take into account is, does the weight cut affect Ariane Lipski? Is her having COVID going to affect Ariane Lipski? You never really do know in these instances because, for all I know, her cardio is going to be ass in this fight, and Priscila could go out there and just knock her out round 3 just because, oh my god, I'm so tired, I got COVID, I had a bad weight cut. You never know with those untangibles that we don't really know how Ariane Lipski is feeling. So prediction is Ariane Lipski. We're going to do the confident picks video later on, and she's going to be really low on the list because, again, I don't know what the weight cut's going to do. I don't know what having to make weight twice in the span of 1 week is going to do. I don't know what COVID is going to do to Ariane Lipski. I don't know. That's just something that we can't really know until the fight actually happens. So I'm going to go Lipski, 29-28 decision. Not confident at all. You'll see in my confident picks video. Ariane Lipski by a decision. Jason Witt and Josh Quinlan in the welterweight division. Not official to actually happen on this UFC Fight Night Vera versus Cruz card. It is said to have happened, and they put it on the Tapology page right here, but Josh just test positive for Turinabol. I don't know, some weird drug with a long name that I really can't remember. Some drug was in Josh Quinlan's system that really resulted in him not being able to fight last week. It was a very small amount of it, but he was not able to fight. And the fight has been pushed back to a week, and we don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. Dana doesn't know if it's going to happen. They're still working things out as of right now. So, for all I know, I can make this prediction, and the fight just does not get made because Josh just keeps on popping for drugs. But I'm going to make the prediction anyway. In case the fight does happen, we'll have the prediction. So Josh is going to be the better striker. He's 5-0, good takedown defense, very strong, and is definitely going to be the more powerful guy, the faster guy. Cardio-wise, we don't know yet. I mean, Josh doesn't really go to the later rounds too often in his fights. When he does, I mean, it's against opponents like Dallas Jennings, Joe Borshig right there, but usually he's able to get them out round 1, round 2. And I expect that to be the case right here. The only way that Josh Quinlan is going to lose this fight is if he literally just goes all out in round 1. If he goes out there against Jason Witt in round number 1 and just starts throwing a Hail Mary overhands, uppercuts, just looking to land that punch on Jason, and somehow Jason Witt is able to survive that round and lose it 10-9, that's the only way. If that happens, maybe I live bet Jason Witt a little bit because, he's got good wrestling. And if Josh Quinlan is tired at that point, maybe he comes back with the takedowns, with the wrestling, with the ground and pound, and wins round 2 and round 3. That's a possibility. But Josh, I think, should be a smart fighter. He's not smart out of the cage, popping with drugs and all that type of stuff. But I think he'll be smart in the cage. I don't think he's going to force the finish here. I think he's going to rock him a few times on the feet. Then he's going to land that good shot, knock him out round 1. Josh Quinlan in the round number 1. but you never know. Is he smart? Is he not? I don't know. We shall see. Does he pour it all out and not get to finish entire route? Possibility. I'm going to go Josh Quinlan by round 1. Ground and pound TKO after catching him with the good right hands. Youssef Zalal and Damon Blackshear in the bantamweight division, and this is going to be very interesting. Betting odds -110, -110. Damon Blackshear is coming in here on short notice. He's the same height as Youssef Zalal, and he's going to be the smaller guy than Youssef Zalal, in my opinion. Youssef is going to be the same height as him, yes, but he's going to have a 2.5 reach advantage there, and he's moving from the featherweight division down to the bantamweight division after fighting very good opponents like Ilia Topuria, Sung-Woo Choi right there, and then Sean Woodson. So some pretty good opponents in his last few fights. But this fight with Damon Blackshear is going to be very interesting. It was one of those where originally when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, sure, Zalal should go out there, should take him down. I've seen Damon get taken down plenty of times in a lot of his fights over there in Titan FC and inside of CFFC. But you gotta remember the opponents of Damon Blackshear. Damon is not fighting any scrubs. Look at these guys. I mean, Chris Moutinho is a little bit of a scrub right there, but look, Paz Sabatini was one guy that was able to beat him. Decision. Danny Sabatello was able to beat him. Decision. They were both able to out-wrestle and out-grapple him. But is this guy right here, is Youssef Zalal the level of a Danny Sabatello, a guy that's about to be the champion of the bantamweight division inside of Bellator? Is Youssef Zalal on that level to go out there and do what Danny was able to do and take down Damon for 5 straight rounds and win with the wrestling and grappling? No, not so much. And that's why I'm going to actually make round 1 the closest round in the fight, because that's where I don't really see too many takedowns coming in for Youssef Zalal. He usually pours on the takedowns later on in the fights, but I think round number 1 is going to be the closest round. I expect probably a split in the judges. We're going to see like a 30-27 Youssef Zalal, 29-28 Youssef Zalal, and another 29-28 Youssef Zalal. That's going to be my prediction. I think Damon is going to be looking to go out there and close the distance. His reach isn't really there, and usually he kind of likes to blitz forward with some big hooks and uppercuts and overhands, trying to close that distance and land some powerful shots. But again, against the guy like Youssef Zalal, who's good at moving, standing the outside, going in and out, in and out, in and out with the kicks and things like that. And if you're really going to be bum rushing a guy like Youssef Zalal, he's got a good single leg, he's got a good body lock, trip takedown, he's got good takedowns to counter Damon Blackshear when he's coming in with. So round 1, I see that one going either way. That's a 50-50 round. But round 2, round 3, I think Youssef is going to stay at range, he's going to force Damon to come to him, and he's going to mix in those takedowns. Youssef Zalal with the 29-28 on 2 judges' scorecards, and then a 30-27 on the other. Unanimous decision. Angela Hill and Lupita Godinez in the catchweight division of 120 pounds. Now, I was thinking about why it was a catchweight fight, and I guess this fight was supposed to be way later on, but because UFC Fight Night Vera versus Cruz just did not have a lot of fights at the time. There was only like 9 or 10 fights on the card. They decided to move it from way down the line to this fight card. So they're not really able to make the weight that fast. Their training camp was not expecting them to have to fight this soon. So they moved it from the strawweight limit of 115, 116 to 120 pounds. Just a tidbit of knowledge there for you. But, I mean, you guys know what the prediction is. You know, if I've watched a Lupita Godinez video, I think I've been 100% on Lupita Godinez in the past. I mean, Jessica Pena, I did lose that. I did lose that one, but I think she won that fight. She beat Silvana Gomez Juarez with an easy armbar right there. I actually picked Luana Carolina to beat Lupita Godinez, but I did have her against Ariane Carnelossi. She's got really good wrestling, very good ground and pound, and she's relentless. I mean, I don't know what the UFC statistics were against Ariane Carnelossi, who, let's be fair, is a very strong guy. I'm joking. But Ariane Carnelossi, that's a girl that you would not expect to get ragdolled, but Lupita Godinez went out there and did exactly that. Let's do this. Let's go on to UFC statistics, and let's check how many times Lupita Godinez was able to go out there and oh my God, 8 times. 8 times, 13 minutes, 26 seconds of control time. Landed 5 times the amount of significant strikes. Landed, what is that, 4 or 5, almost 6 times the amount of regular strikes. This girl is a freaking killer, man. I mean, her wrestling is amazing. Her ground and pound is amazing. Her control on the ground is absolutely amazing. We just saw Verna Jandiroba go out there, out wrestle. We saw Tisha Torres mixing some takedowns and things like that. We know Angela Hill's a good striker. She was actually able to outstrike Amanda Lemos, and that was a pretty close one that could have gone either way, but it's not going to be a striking fight. We all know this. And Lupita Godinez is going to go out there. Once I make my confident picks video, Lupita is going to be a super confident. I'm going to tell you that right now. 85% going Godinez. Betting odds, when there were betting odds, because again, the fight actually got changed dates from way later on to today, to this weekend. And the betting odds that I saw had Lupita at like minus 350, and I'm not even mad at that. That's not even as far as I would have gone. I would say like minus 400, minus 500. I'm very confident on Lupita. I think she out-wrestles. I think she out-grapples. I could see a finish, but I know Angela Hill is just that tough. So I know she hasn't been finishing forever. I don't even think, ran the Marcos armbar a long time ago. So I'm gonna go Lupita Godinez, a 30-26. I'm going the 10-8 round. Lupita Godinez by a unanimous decision. Osbourne and Tyson Nam in the flyweight division. You know this is going to be a good fight. I mean, not the biggest of names in the flyweight division, but you got a 38, almost 39-year-old Tyson Nam that just lost a match now. Beat guys that are not even in the UFC anymore. Zaruk Adeshev, Jerome Rivera lost to Sergio Pettis, Cachoeira France. You know Tyson Nam is going to go out there and he's going to put it all on the line because this is probably a fight that if he loses, say goodbye, go to BKFC. So you know Tyson Nam's going to go out there looking for that finish, coming forward on an Ode and looking to land that overhand right and knock him out in round number 1, round number 2. But we also know that my guy Ode Osbourne is going to be the taller. Actually, they're the same height. Very interesting. He's going to be the lengthier striker than Tyson Nam right there. He's going to stay on the outside, jab him, 1-2 him, kick him at range, and Tyson just going to be patiently waiting to land that big shot. That will never come, and if he does decide to throw that big shot, Ode Osbourne, in my opinion, is going to have that wrestling and grappling advantage to take down Tyson Nam every now and then. So I think this is going to be a mixed martial arts fight. Ode is going to strike him at range. Tyson's going to try to come forward, close that distance, look to land that big powerful shot, and he's going to get taken down in doing so. He will get up a few times, but he will get taken down a few times as well. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. Again, I'm not confident because I know Tyson Nam has freaking power. He could go out there and just starch Ode Osbourne. You never know what that Manel Cop flying knee KO did. You never know. It could have cracked it. But I think the fight goes all the way. I think Ode Osbourne gets every single round. I think he strikes him at range. Tyson lands a few good shots, but he gets taken down in doing so and gets ground upon it a little bit. Maybe Ode gets a submission, but I doubt it. And he's not going to get knocked out. Cachoeira France couldn't do it. Matt Schnell couldn't even submit him. So, Tyson Nam's not a guy I see going out there losing this fight by finish. So, Ode Osbourne with a 30-26 unanimous decision. Gabriel Benitez and Charlie Ontiveros. I'm going to say it right now before I make my prediction, before I get into both guys striking, wrestling, and grappling. This could be fight of the night. I'm going to be honest with you. We have two guys, one of which that just goes out there with kind of no self-regard for his own chin, who has a bad chin that just comes forward looking to land the knockout. He either gets the knockout or he gets knocked out very badly. He got knocked out by a 1-0 guy over there. Got knocked out by Kevin Holland. He got slam KO'd in round number 1. And then he got knocked out by Steve Garcia. I'm going to say it right now. I'm actually pretty confident on Gabriel Benitez. But there's still that chance. There's still that chance of Charlie just making this a freaking crazy fight and just catching him. We saw Gabriel Benitez get caught in his last fight and the fight before that from Billy Corantillo and David Onama. So we know the chin of Gabriel Benitez is not really the best. So again, I was originally very confident on Gabriel Benitez. I'm like, dude, he's got better kickboxing, good leg kicks at range. Yes, he's going to be the smaller fighter. Yes, he's going to be less lengthy. But he should be able to, kick Charlie Ontiveros a lot in this fight, then mix in the wrestling, then mix in the grappling, and do exactly what Steve Garcia was able to do in that fight. Even what Kevin Holland was able to do. Kevin Holland took this man down and ground upon TKO'd him. So, Kevin Holland was like a middleweight or a welterweight at the time. I don't know how Ontiveros was up in that weight class at the time. He's at lightweight now, which makes no sense. But I think Gabriel Benitez should get this one. Yes, he's smaller. Yes, he's less lengthy. It's going to be fight of the night. I can see a Charlie Ontiveros knockout. Again, not a confident it was at first, but then I'm like, Charlie's just going to make this fight crazy. And Gabriel coming off of 2 knockout losses in his last 2 fights. You never know. I mean, Charlie's got a chance here. I think under 2 rounds. I mean, this is going to be a KO. Round 1, round 2. Gabriel Benitez, I think he goes out there, takes the fight down, cuts Charlie Ontiveros on the ground with some elbows, and ground and pound TKOs him. I think he's going to hurt his leg out on the feet as well. He's got really good kicks at range. So I think Gabriel Benitez wins this fight. Round number 2. After a very, very good round 1 by TKO, Łukasz Brzeski and Martin Buday in the heavyweight division. I got a little bit scared in the last fight for Martin Buday. I'm telling you, I had my decision prop on Martin Buday. I'm so lucky they made that a technical decision, or else, I would have gotten a little pissed from a, Aljamain Sterling knee to a grounded opponent. But the same height, a pretty similar reach to slight advantage to Łukasz Brzeski. Size advantage, easily going to go Martin Buday. So I was originally going out there saying, this could be a close fight. Łukasz Brzeski has some good power on the feet. He's got good submission skills as well. Has a lot of TKO wins, a lot of submission wins on the ground as well. He got a submission win on the Contender Series against Dylan Potter. So, I was like, Łukasz Brzeski could go out there and do decent in the grappling, but I'm like, dude, he's what, 30 pounds lighter than Martin Buday. How in the world is going to take him down? That's first off. Number 2, Martin Buday has done amazing things in the clinch. Lorenzo Hoodie was able to go out there and literally TKO him in the clinch. There was no, knockout blow that knocked out Lorenzo Hood in the clinch. It was just body shot, elbow, knees in the clinch, and he was able to TKO Lorenzo Hood in the clinch. Chris Barnett, that's where he did his best work, was in the clinch on Chris Barnett. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a striking fight for about 30 seconds. Martin's going to get the fight to the clinch. He's going to land some knees, land some elbows, land some knees, land some elbows, and Łukasz is going to eat those elbows and eat those knees round 1, eat the elbows, eat the knees for a little bit in round 2, and towards the end of round 2, he's going to get a little bit tired. Martin's going to crack him in the clinch, and he's going to be on top, and he's going to Sergey Spivak Augusto Sakai him with ground and pound. So my prediction here, Martin Buday clinch effing Łukasz Brzeski in the fight, then taking him down round 2, and TKOing him. Martin Buday, round 2. TKO. Yazmin, Jauregui, and Iasmin Lucindo short notice fights was supposed to be Yazmin versus Estela Nunes. I would have gone Yazmin to win that fight, but now she's fighting the youngest fighter in, I think, UFC's women's history. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. Correct me in the comment section below. But she's very young. 20 years, 7 months old. So is Yazmin. She's 23 and a half years old. Undefeated. But somehow the younger Iasmin Lucindo has more fights on her record, which is insane. But she does have some good striking. A lot of TKO wins. But if you look right here, a lot of submission losses right there. Let's check it out. 3 submission losses, 1 decision loss right there. Her most recent submission loss wasn't too long ago. It was about 3 years ago against Barbako Akioli right there. Just a random 5-3 girl. Yeah, she doesn't really have the best grappling. And a lot of her fights recently have not been against grapplers. I've checked the film on a lot of these fights. Not against grapplers. Most of them were kind of setup fights for her to build up her record. And to 13-4 right now. I mean, she fought grapplers early and was able to lose a lot of those fights because of that. And now making her short notice fight against a girl like Yazmin Jauregui, a girl that goes out there that, in my opinion, has better striking than Iasmin Lucindo, is a better kicker, is better at range, has a little bit more power than Iasmin Lucindo, and I'm gonna be honest, could actually go out there and take down Iasmin Lucindo on the ground as well. I think this should be pretty self-explanatory because I've looked everywhere: striking, kicking, boxing, in the clinch, grappling. I literally think Yazmin has the advantage everywhere. There's not one thing I really give an advantage to Iasmin Lucindo in, especially the striking. Nah, I think Iasmin Lucindo is going to lose there as well. Now, Iasmin is a tough girl. If she doesn't get submitted, she'll probably lose the decision. She's not going to get knocked out, though. So I'm going to go I'm going to go with Yazmin Jauregui to get a submission or decision. Submission round number 1 or a decision 30-27 on all judges' cards. Again, I've literally seen everything there is to know about Yazmin, Lucindo, and Yazmin. I mean, they kind of have the same name right there, but it's literally a fight that I think the UFC wants Yazmin to win. And then they're gonna be like, okay, Yazmin, she's 20 years old. They're going to build her up against some lower-ranked girls in this division, and maybe she'll get in the top 15 as well. But not today. Yazmin is not more experienced, but she's fought the better competition. She's got better power in her hands. She got the better grappling, better wrestling. I think she's better everywhere, to be honest. Maybe the grappling could be a little bit even, but I think the fight goes all the way. Yazmin mainly outstriking Iasmin Lucindo for the 30-27 unanimous decision. Nina Ansarov, or Nina Nunes, whatever you want to call it, versus Cynthia Calvillo in the flyweight division. Now, Nina is going to be the underdog here. Cynthia is going to be the favorite, but again, I don't like this fight. I don't even want to make a prediction. I didn't want to last time. This fight has been made like 2 or 3 times. I don't want to make this prediction. This is not a fight I want to go out there and give my opinion for, because I'm going to be dead wrong one way, or I'm going to be so right the other way. I mean, that's gonna be how it is. Because either Nina Nunes goes out there and is able to defend the takedowns of Cynthia Calvillo, and then she just knocks her out on the feet. She doesn't really have that much power. I don't remember the last time Nina Nunes was able to go out there and get a TKO win. It was Muna Holland. I don't know who that is, but she got a TKO win way long time ago. That could happen because Cynthia's just, her chin and her will to keep on going has just been going down the drain ever since, she got knocked out by Jessica Andrade. And there's that other path to victory where Cynthia Calvillo goes out there, out-wrestles, out-grapples Nina Nunes this entire fight. You can see why I do not want to predict this fight. One girl has been knocked out twice in her last 2 fights in the span of, 2 weeks or something like that? From Jessica Andrade to Andrea Lee. I don't know how she fought that close to knockout losses. And then Caitlin Chukagian. She's not, neither of these girls are that good. They're very low level in this women's flyweight division. Cynthia has the wrestling. Nina, what does she have? She's more well-rounded, I guess. She's a better striker slightly. I think Amanda Nunes can teach her a little bit on how to outstrike a wrestler like, Amanda Nunes was able to do against Juliana Pena in her last fight. But again, don't bet the fight. I don't even want to make the prediction, but I'm going to go underdog just for the fun of it. Not a confident pick, not even a fight I want to put onto my prediction record. Just pass. There's plenty of other fights to bet on. There's plenty of other fights to predict. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go the underdog, Nina Nunes, to learn some tricks from Amanda Nunes to outstrike Cynthia Calvillo, and boom, knock out Cynthia Calvillo round number 2. Her chin sucks, and Nina is training with a dude, Amanda Nunes, so we shall see Nina Nunes by knockout round 2. Don't bet it. Don't do anything with it. Just Go drink some water during this fight, alright? Next fight. Devin Clark and Azamat Murzakanov in the lightweight division. Now, I'm going to give you the outcomes to this fight. Number 1, way of winning for Azamat Murzakanov. Wrestle, ground and pound. That's it. We saw the game plan for Iwan Kutalaba, however you say that first name. We saw the game plan. Iwan Kutalaba was able to go out there, take down Devin Clark, and just ground and pound the heck out of him. Took some teeth out. I mean, he was bloodied up. I mean, he did not look good after that Iwan Kutalaba fight. I'm surprised he did not stop that one. But we've seen Azamat go up there and just start throwing bombs on the feet. And if he's not able to land and he's not able to knock out his opponents, he'll start resorting to a little bit of wrestling. I mean, Tafon Chukwi has good takedown defense. I wasn't surprised that one was more of a striking fight. Matthew Scheffel has good takedown defense. He was able to knock him out on the feet. Muhammad Fakhruddin. A lot of these guys he's fighting, I mean, he was just able to go out there and knock them out on the feet. But this is one I can see a path to victory for Azamat, is just taking the fight down and ground and pounding like Iwan Kutalaba. So that is going to be one path to victory here. Number 2 for Azamat Murzakanov. Literally just go out there, get Devin Clark's back to the cage. Uppercut, right hook, flying knee. I mean, we've seen him do the trifecta of power punches and just power shots in his last 3 fights. An uppercut. Let's see, what's the next one? A right hook, and then a flying knee. That's the trifecta of powerful punches for the heavyweight division, and then a flying knee. I mean, how the heck is a heavyweight doing that in 2022? That's crazy. But, again, that is another path to victory for Azamat. Literally just going out there throwing bombs, catching the chin of Devin Clark, knocking him out, or wrestling him and ground upon TKOing him. But, again, I'm not even confident that he TKOs him because Devin was somehow able to survive Iwan Kutalawa. Now, that is the way Azamat wins the fight. How does Devin Clark win this fight? It's simple. He's taller, he's lengthier. Do exactly what Tafon did. Tafon was able to stay at range, land more volume, stay away from the big power punches, and just was able to outstrike Azamat Murzakanov at range. That's simply the game plan for Devin Clark, is to follow the Tafon Chuki blueprint, except for not going out there in round number 3, pressuring Azamat and getting flying kneed in round number 3. That was just not a smart thing to do by Tafon and Chukwi, and I know his coaches played a part in that. But it seems like a weird fight to me. It's not one it's going to be high in my confident predictions. Not at all, because I can totally see Devin doing exactly what Tafon Chukwi did and winning a decision here. Totally can see that. I can also see Azamat taking him down. I can also see Azamat laying in some big shots in the feet. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. But I don't remember the last time Devin's been knocked out. He's been submitted, but the last time was Alex in the Rocket spinning back figure, then Alex Nicholson right there. So trying to think if I should go TKO or decision here. Tough, but I'm going to go TKO. I'm going to go Azamat Murzakanov to go out there, pressure pressure Devin Clark round 1 and catch him with something big. If that doesn't happen, maybe live bet Devin Clark by decision. But we shall see. I got Azamat by TKO. Gerald Meerschaert, the king of round 3 submissions, taking on Bruno Silva in the middleweight division. What am I gonna go here? Gerald, a guy that has good submission skills, but not the best wrestling. I mean, the way he was able to beat Makhmut Murado, Bartosz Fabinski, Dustin Stoltzfus, these guys took down Gerald Meerschaert. I don't know what, they didn't get the memo that Gerald is good in round 3 and is good with the submission game, but they took down Gerald for some reason. Again, I don't know why. They're just really not the smartest fighters, and then they got submitted for that. Bruno's not a dumb fighter. He's not going to go out there and take down Gerald Meerschaert, and that's really all you need. Krzysztof Jotko was able to take him down, but he's able to take him down in a way where he's in the guard and he's just able to ground up him, stay away from the triangle. Krzysztof is a guy that I can expect to defend some of those submissions. Dustin, Murado, Fabinski, none of those guys I would say have the wrestling and grappling of a Krzysztof Jotko or a Hamza Chimaev and things like that. And Hamza Chimaev fight, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think maybe Gerald strikes with him a little bit, attempts one takedown, fails miserably. Bruno's just going to, chuck it off, and then he's going to get Gerald's back to the cage, just start throwing right hook, left hook, uppercut, left hook, right hook, overhand left, uppercut, overhand right, and he's just going to drop Gerald Meerschaert round 1. I think it's going to be like a 5, 6, 7 punch combination. We'll see a little bit of ground and pound, which is going to look a little bit dangerous because Bruno is going to be going in to Gerald Meerschaert's guard, but he's going to get that half guard position, and he's just going to start hammering away. Herb Dean has no choice but to stop it. He knows Gerald has a chance in round number 3, but he's taking a beating at that point. So I'm going to go Bruno Silva round 1 after Gerald attempts a takedown. Bruno then shucks him off, gets back to the cage, starts throwing big, catches the chin of Gerald. He doesn't go out fully, and Bruno ground and pounds viciously. 20 punches on the ground, and TKOs him in round number 1. David Onama and Nate Landwehr in the featherweight division, co-main events for Vera versus Cruz. Now, you might be thinking, oh my god, David Onama, the guy that just knocked out Gabriel Benitez, submitted Garrett Armfield, had a really close fight with the guy up a weight class in Mason Jones right there, has so many knockout wins on his record. You might be thinking, this guy, he's going to win this fight. Simply, he's going to go out there, he's going to destroy a guy like Nate Landwehr, who's been knocked out by Herbert Burns, a grappler, been knocked out by Julian Arosa, a guy that's known for his submissions. You would think that, right? You would think David has no problem going out there TKOing him. He's taller, he's lengthier, he's bigger than Nate Landwehr, he's stronger. But there's one thing. Nate Landwehr is a freaking dog, man. 15 wins and 4 losses. And he went out there and beat Ludwig Klein. Ludwig was out striking him a little bit, just like probably David Onama will be in this fight. And just, he was able to get a takedown, and he's able to get that front position and get the Anaconda in round number 3 with half of a round remaining right there. He was able to beat Darren Elkins on the ground right there. This dude is a dog. You can outstrike him round 1, round 2. If you tire out a little bit, he's going to pressure you. He's going to put that volume on you. He's going to look for a submission. He's going to look for some knees, look for some elbows, look to knock you out, look to submit you, and he's going to make it a war in round number 3. That's exactly what I expect this fight to be. Round number 1, round number 2 is going to be good. David's going to land some good shots on the feet. He's going to rock Nate Landwehr a little bit. It's going to be looking like David's going to have an easy night in the office with an easy round 1, round 2 KO, but Nate will survive and lose round 1 and lose round 2 due to the striking of David Onama. Round 3, he's going to make it interesting. He's going to go back like Ludwig Klein, and he's going to just make it interesting. Pressure David Onama. David's going to be a little bit tired, looking to keep the fight on the feet and just survive one round and win the fight on the scorecards, maybe get that top 15 opponent, or maybe one more after that. But Nate is going to make round 3 a war, and I think he wins round 3. And with all that being said, round 1, David Onama rocking Nate Landwehr. Round 2, he rocks him again. But then round 3 starts to tire out. Nate, being the dog that he is, makes a little comeback, but doesn't get the finish. 29-28, David Onama. Marlon Chito Vera and Dominic Cruz. In the bantamweight division, the young versus the old. Same height, a little bit of a reach advantage for Marlon Chito Vera. Kicking advantage, I'm going to go Marlon Chito Vera. Got good front kick, as we know, with the Frankie Edgar. Oh, that freaking looked like an alien after that fight. He's got very good kicks. He's good in the clinch as well, but I would say his strength is literally just at range, landing the kicks and then eventually landing some powerful shots. We saw exactly what he was able to do against Rob Font. I mean, he was losing every second of like 4 minutes of round 1, and then boom. Boom! He just freaking rocks Rob Font at the end of every single round. I still, to this day, do not know how Rob Font was able to survive all of those big shots at the end of every single round. But I don't think he's going to rock Dominic Cruz like he was able to with Rob Font. Rob just kind of has a suspect chin to me, in my opinion. Dominic, not really the case. Yeah, he got knocked out by Henry, was a debatable stoppage. So I think Marlon will land the harder shots, but it's not going to necessarily look like that much to the judges, because Dominic is good at slipping punches and making the damage lesser. What I mean by that is when you're moving your head so much that the punch comes in like this, and you're moving your head to the left, the punch comes, and you're moving your head to the left to kind of get out of the way of the punch and things like that. The power of that same punch is just going to slide like that, and it's going to bounce off the chin. It might look like a good, powerful punch, but as Dominic Cruz is slipping those punches, they're not as powerful as they may seem. And with Marlon Chito having that power advantage, and with Dominic Cruz having that defensive striking advantage to stay away from those big, powerful shots and make those powerful shots look less than, due to him just being able to slip them and make the damage accumulate less than he was able to against Rob Font. I think that's going to be his game plan here. It's just when he is throwing those powerful shots, he's going to have really good slips, really good head movements, and make those powerful shots just not powerful, and just out volume at range. Because I'm sure Dominic is going to go out there and out volume Marlon Chito Vera. It really comes down to, can Dominic Cruz go out there and, land more volume than Marlon and make those powerful shots lesser than? I think he can early on in the fight, round 1. Sure, he can do very good at that, but I think Marlon is going to find his footing, find his range, find his distance with Dominic Cruz, figure out the head movement a little bit. I know it's very tricky. A lot of people find it super hard to figure out the head movement and just the fluidity of Dominic Cruz, but Marlon's a smart guy. I think he will be able to find out. I mean, not fully figure it out, because no one has been able to, but he'll be able to do it enough to where he'll be able to land those big shots and wow the crowd, wow the judges a little bit. So, yes, Dominic will be landing more volume here, and I can totally see him slipping some of those powerful punches and win a decision. I think this is a 50-50 fight, just a slight lean with Marlon Chito Vera. I think he lands slightly the more powerful punches. The volume will go Cruz, but It's effective striking, isn't it? Effective striking means, are you closer to the finish? Are you actually delivering damage? Dominic won't be landing as much damage as Marlon Chito Vera. The judges will reflect that. Marlon Chito Vera, 48-47, unanimous decision. Again, I think it's very, very close. Really comes down to what the judges value. The powerful shots or the double the amount of strikes from Dominic Cruz. What do y'all think? Put your predictions down below. I got Marlon Chito Vera by decision. That is the full card prediction for UFC Fight Nights. Vera versus Cruz. I'm going to be going Marlon Chito Vera to win his fight by 48-47 decision. I got David Onama winning that one round 1, round 2, losing round 3 for the 29-28 decision. I got Bruno knocking out Gerald Mearshart, not out cold, but with some ground and pound. I got Azamat Murzakanov doing the same, getting that first round TKO. I got Nina Nunes. Again, I don't like this prediction. I don't want to do this prediction, but I got Nina Nunes round 2 knockout because Cynthia's chin is absolutely awful. I got Yazmin to win that one by a decision. I got Martina Buday to win this one round 2 with ground and pound at TKO. Gabriel Benitez also round 2, ground and pound TKO. Osbourne by decision. Lupita Godinez by unanimous decision. One of the rounds being a 10-8. Youssef Zalal by unanimous decision. Josh Quinlan round 1 KO. And Ariane Lipski close 29-28 decision. So my decisions are Ariane Lipski, Youssef Zalal, Lupita Godinez, Osbourne, Yazmin, Jauregui, David Onama, and Marlon Chito Vera. My finishes: Bruno Silva, Azamat Murzakanov, Nina Nunes, Martin Buday, Gabriel Benitez, and Josh Quinlan. So pretty 50-50 on finishes and on decisions. Put your thoughts down below. That is the full card prediction. Check the description for all the bets we will be making. If it doesn't work, go onto your computer and do it instead. Thanks for watching. Full card prediction.